Hey everyone, I'm Daddylan. Today, let's chat about the Sanxingdui archaeological site. The Sanxingdui archaeological site, a Bronze Age cultural site located in Sanxingdui town, Guang'an City, Sichuan province, China. The place where the site is located was originally called Yuliangguan, Moon Bay, with 3 mounds of yellow earth inside. Local folks, in hopes of good fortune, said these 3 mounds symbolized the stars in the sky and named it Sanxingdui, 3 stars accompanying the moon. Hence, the name Sanxingdui. In the spring of 1929, a villager named Yan Decheng from Zhenwu village, Nanxing town, Guang'an County, stumbled upon a rectangular pit while cleaning a ditch in front of his house. Inside, he found numerous jade artifacts. Being savvy, Yan Decheng immediately moved nearly 400 jade pieces into his house and sold them in batches. Word got out, and people flocked to Yuliangguan to unearth treasures. 2 years later, Vivian Henry Donathorne, a pastor at the Guang'an Gospel Church and a PhD from the University of Cambridge, heard about Yuliangguan. Through the local garrison commander Tao Zongbo, he borrowed 5 artifacts from Yan Decheng, sent him to West China Union University, and had him identified by American geologist Daniel Sheets Dye. The artifacts were confirmed to belong to the Shang Zhou period, over 3,000 years ago. Later, Yan Decheng handed over some artifacts to the West China Union University Museum for safekeeping and research. On March 15, 1934, at the invitation of the county magistrate, David Crockett Graham, the then director of the West China Union University Museum and professor of cultural anthropology and archaeology, conducted the first official excavation of the Sanxingdui site in Yuliangguan. Over 600 artifacts were unearthed during the 10-day excavation. Unfortunately, due to the turbulent political situation and security concerns, the excavation was cut short. Despite the challenges, Graham compiled the findings into the Hanzhou Excavation Brief, the first scientific report on Sanxingdui in history. After the founding of the People's Republic of China, with the development of infrastructure in Sichuan, many cultural relics were discovered in the Yuliangguan area, attracting archaeologists for scientific exploration. Unfortunately, due to the rise of political movements, excavation work on Sanxingdui remained stagnant. In the 1970s, a brick and tile factory was even built here, causing significant damage to the cultural site. In May 1980, the Sichuan Provincial Archaeological Team conducted a salvage excavation of the Sanxingdui site, discovering 18 house foundations, 4 tombs, and hundreds of artifacts, finally bringing attention to Sanxingdui. Subsequently, the State Administration of Cultural Heritage decided to fund a special archaeological excavation. In July 1986, workers at the second brick factory in Nanxing town, Guang'an County, discovered an ancient jade ring while digging clay for bricks and immediately reported it to the archaeological team. Soon after, Sichuan Provincial Institute of Archaeology found the number 1 and number 2 sacrificial pits, unearthing unprecedented artifacts, including a 260.8 cm tall bronze statue and a 1.42 meter long gold staff. This discovery caused a huge sensation in the archaeological community, finally revealing the full picture of Sanxingdui to the world. However, for some unknown reason, after the discovery of sacrificial pits 1 and 2 at Sanxingdui, the entire archaeological excavation work came to an abrupt halt. It wasn't until the end of 2019 that archaeologists discovered a new sacrificial pit, Pit 3, between pits 1 and 2. The following year, they unearthed 5 more sacrificial pits. From 2021 until now, artifacts continuously emerge from these 6 new pits, including bronzeware, jade objects, gold artifacts, and a plethora of ivory items. Their unique designs and exquisite craftsmanship represent the pinnacle of Sanxingdui culture, sparking a Sanxingdui craze in society. You've probably heard all kinds of theories, like Sanxingdui being linked to extraterrestrial civilizations, with technological advancements far beyond its contemporaries, and so on. But when I actually laid eyes on the Sanxingdui artifacts, my immediate gut feeling was that they are undoubtedly human-made. Examining the craftsmanship, it didn't seem to surpass the bronzeware of the contemporary Shang dynasty. However, the distinctive style and forms are indeed different from the Central Plains civilization. Of course, you can also see cultural exchanges between Sanxingdui and the Central Plains, with many unearthed artifacts like Jade Kong and Jade Zhang. In my personal view, Sanxingdui culture seems independent, with its own complete ancient cultural system, carving out its own path unrelated to the East or West. From a historical perspective, Ancient Chinese texts record the existence of the ancient Shu state. It is said that the Annals of the Kings of Shu, written by Yang Shun during the Western Han Dynasty, tells the stories of the first 5 rulers of ancient Shu. The first person proclaimed as king in this land was named Cancong, who had vertical eyes and protruding eyeballs, exceptionally skilled in silkworm breeding and silk production. Cancong passed on this craft to the people and was elected as their leader. The character, Shu, is very ancient, first seen in oracle bone inscriptions from the Shang dynasty, mentioning that the Shu people assisted King Wu of Zhou in overthrowing the Shang. Even today, Shu is still a common term for the Sichuan basin. The original meaning of Shu is silkworm in the middle of mulberry leaves, indicating a strong connection with sericulture. It is likely that the first ruler, being Cancong, an expert in sericulture, led to the name Shu. Corresponding to the artifacts unearthed at Sanxingdui, a large bronze vertical-eyed mask can be seen. The ears are large, and the eyes are prominent. Many people speculate it represents an ancient deity with clairvoyance and keen hearing, or even extraterrestrial beings. However, it is evident that this was a tool used by the ancient Shu people in their rituals to honor their founding ancestor Cancong. After Cancong, the second ruler of the state was King Bai Guan, although records about him are scarce. Judging from the literal meaning, his name is related to trees, suggesting proficiency in arboriculture. Examining Sanxingdui's artifacts, 8 bronze divine trees were unearthed, with the most complete one reaching 3.96 meters in height, making it the largest single-piece bronze artifact discovered worldwide. The branches of the tree are divided into 3 layers, with 3 branches in each layer, totaling 9 branches. Each branch has 2 fruits, and the entire tree has 9 birds standing on upward-facing fruits. On one side of the trunk's base, there is a dragon. This reminds me of the concept of the world tree and 9 worlds in Norse mythology, where the top of the world tree is inhabited by the eagle Vedfolnir, and the root is home to the serpent Nidhogg. We can discuss topics related to the collective unconscious of humanity when there is an opportunity. The bronze trees at Sanxingdui were obviously used by the ancient Shu people in rituals honoring Bai Guan. The third generation king after Bai Guan was named Yu Fu, with Fu referring to wild ducks, a type of waterfowl. This name is associated with fishing and hunting. Among the Sanxingdui artifacts, there is a golden staff with a pattern depicting an arrow piercing through a fish and a bird. This staff is likely to have been used by Yu Fu and his successors. After Yu Fu, there was a king named Du Yu, also known as Wangdi, Emperor. The era of Du Yu has established close ties with the Western Zhou dynasty in the Central Plains. Therefore, the Sanxingdui site we see from the late Shang dynasty is likely from Yu Fu's dynasty. As dynasties changed, the central area of the ancient Shu state shifted from Sanxingdui in Guanghan to the Jinsha site near Qingyang district in Chengdu. There is a clear chronological relationship between these 2 sites. While Du Yu was a king who placed great emphasis on agriculture, he was not skilled in water management. During that time, the Sichuan plain suffered from frequent flooding, causing immense suffering among the people. It wasn't until another person appeared, known as Bi Ling. According to legend, Bi Ling was originally from the state of Chu, and this was during the spring and autumn warring states period. Supposedly, he had drowned in a river, but his body defied the current and ended up in the upper reaches of the Yangtze River, in the ancient Shu kingdom. When Du Yu discovered him and pulled his body ashore, to everyone's surprise, Bi Ling came back to life. He informed Du Yu that he had the ability to control water. Consequently, Du Yu appointed Bi Ling as his advisor to manage the water issues in the ancient Shu kingdom. Later on, Du Yu directly relinquished the throne to Bi Ling. Some say it was because Du Yu had an affair with Bi Ling's wife and, feeling ashamed, abdicated the throne. Others claim that Bi Ling, leveraging his achievements in water management, initiated a rebellion against Du Yu, who had no choice but to step down. Regardless of the reasons, Bi Ling became the new king, known as Emperor Kaming. Yu Fu chose a life of seclusion and, upon his death, transformed into a cuckoo bird. Every March in the lunar calendar, he urged the people of Shu to sow their seeds with his melodious calls. This story is the origin of the famous line from the Tang dynasty poet Li Shangyin, Zhuang Sheng's morning dream confuses butterflies, and the emperor's spring heart is entrusted to the cuckoo. In 316 BC, during the Warring States period, King Huiwen of Qin sent Zhang Yi and Sima Kuo to conquer the Shu state, bringing an end to the enlightened rule of Yu Fu's dynasty, which lasted 12 generations. Qin also annexed the Ba state along the way, finally integrating the Ba Shu region into the Central Plains civilization. In conclusion, with a little knowledge of history, one can understand that the excavation of the Sanxingdui site corroborates the existence of the ancient Shu state as recorded in historical texts. Whether it's dating the artifacts or deciphering their peculiar designs, it aligns with historical accounts and doesn't involve extraterrestrial beings. The uniqueness of Sanxingdui is mainly due to the challenging transportation conditions in the Sichuan basin for thousands of years, making it difficult for more advanced civilizations to influence it. In its independent development, Sanxingdui's level of advancement corresponds to its era and is not as revolutionary as some theories suggest. It lacked a writing system, even though contemporaneous Shang dynasty already had oracle bone inscriptions. Therefore, it is more appropriate to call it the Sanxingdui culture rather than the Sanxingdui civilization. Alright, these are just my subjective opinions. That's it for today. See you in the next episode.